going on, guys? So hopefully y'all enjoyed that clip. Now, we're about to go grab all of those shots right now to test out our C200 in a new style show that I want to do here on this channel, where we test cameras out. Now, typically, we're gonna be using like new cameras that come out and stuff like that whenever we get to that point, but I wanted for the first episode to use my trusty C200 just to get a test out to see how this show is going to run. So what we're gonna be doing is testing out cameras in what I like to call our PSP method. That's prep, shoot, and post. What that's gonna involve is we're gonna test the camera out and how easily it is able to be prepped onto our gimbal and camera car. That's the first segment. Second segment is going to be shoot, and that's pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna be shooting with the camera, see how easy it is to get the shots we want to get, and then after that, we're gonna bring it into the computer and do some post work on getting the clips that you saw in the beginning of the video edited. That's gonna tell us what the image quality looks like. That's gonna tell us how it is to grade and whatnot. Now, a lot of the information you guys are gonna hear today, I already know because we've been shooting with the C200 for like a year now. But if it's a brand new camera, I feel like taking it through a quick shoot like this is gonna give us a really good idea of how the camera is going to be in an everyday environment like you guys would probably be using it. And that's gonna be a lot more interesting, I feel, than kind of a camera test inside of a studio looking at sheets and stuff like that. Now, a couple things we are excited about with the C200 specifically. One, autofocus. A lot of you guys know Canon has phenomenal autofocus, which means I don't have to have a focus puller. All I'm gonna be doing as the gimbal operator and camera operator is going to be moving the camera on the back of the car as well as adjusting the exposure. Since I don't have to worry about focus, I just gotta make sure the boxes stay on the subject that I'm trying to get. The other interesting thing about the C200 is that there's no real middle recording format. You can either record the huge Canon RAW Lite, which is essentially like a stepped down version of RAW, which is a huge quality, or you can shoot in MP4 8-bit. So we'll be testing both of those out while we're out today, and then once we're in the post stage, we'll be able to see, does that really matter? I mean, obviously it takes up way more space, but do you really need to be shooting in the RAW, and how much quality are you gonna be missing out on if you're shooting in the MP4 style? But before we can get to all that, we have to get this thing prepped. So we'll go over to the table and get it rigged up for our gimbal car use. We'll see you over the table and we'll see how this thing does. Shocker, I know exactly how it's gonna work, so there's no surprise here. But if it was a brand new camera, we might be surprised. Let's go over to the table. All right, guys, prep table. So one of the cool things about the C200, and with it being a cinema camera, we have actual screwed holes at the top and bottom. And if you guys look, the camera is relatively a box. That's gonna make it far easier for us to get it on the gimbal, get it balanced and stuff like that. Instead of having that elongated shape that a lot of cameras are, that is one of the major benefits of the C200. So, as I said a second ago, you guys know that this is our camera. We're not testing this, so naturally we have all the rigging gear and I know exactly how to put it together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assemble the C200 real quick. I'll show you guys what it looks like after that. And yeah, we'll go from there. This is the segment of this video that's not really gonna be the same as all the other ones, because in the other videos on a camera that I have never used before, I don't know exactly how to do it. So we'll be figuring that out together. This is one of those situations where I know exactly what to do. So let's get this thing rigged up and get ready to shoot. All right, so that's our basic cage put together. Alrighty, that's our base with our Ronin plate, our rails, and the base plate. So we'll start working on the top now. Now, a couple of these accessories that we're not gonna have any use for, we have our shotgun mic adapter for the C200. We're not gonna have a mic on it, obviously, because it'll be behind the car. We also have the monitor. We'll keep this with us in case we need to change some settings while we're out and about, but We will not be mounting this to the actual camera. Trust me, I've tried to make it easier for us to change on the road, but it adds a lot of weight and it's a little cumbersome when you're dealing with the camera car and stuff like that. So let's pop the lens on this guy. We should be ready to go. If you guys haven't seen our other videos, this is our Canon 18 to 80 Cine Servo lens. It's the lens we almost always use while on camera car stuff. We might try out some other lenses down the road, but for now, this is the guy we always go to. And finally, HDMI into the tear deck. And this will be power for the tear deck. All right, we will not need a battery because the Ronin will handle it. That's our camera package, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get the Ronin put up here, get this thing balanced. Let's get our focus gears on here. And at that point, we should be able to transition to our next step, which is shoot. This was pretty simple, but it has taken a lot of time and a lot of usage of the camera car setup to really figure out the best way to rig this up quickly. I will be interested to see what this segment looks like on a camera that I haven't spent a lot of time with, but we don't have to worry about that right now. I might have done this a time or two. Okay, so guys, that is not everything. I need a power cable for my C200, but other than that, that's balanced. Final little, let's give more people panic attacks that we have all the cables just dangly all over the place. All right, I will call that a balanced camera. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Motors will take care of anything extra. Now we mount it to a car and we go get cool car shots and make a cool video. Tally ho! Good sir. Please tell us what we got here.
So this is a near mint 1987 BMW 325i that is cobbled together with many different car parts. Same chassis, but I think I put 3 cars parts into this.
This car is older than I am. I think this old girl deserves a really good montage clip. So we roll now. We're gonna get you a headset. Let's go shoot cars. All right, guys. So we're off. From henceforth, we'll see what we get. This is so good, man. Right? Oh, that's hilarious. All right, guys, so looks like we've got about all the angles I think we can probably get here on the road. I'm gonna pop the gimbal off of the camera car and we'll do some handheld gimbal with the ring here, just to get some like detail stuff of the car. And at that point, we will take it all back. So hopefully I can get everything I need in 8 minutes. Okay, so mission accomplished with the camera car. Oh no, a white van. We will see if we're asked to leave. So what I want to do now is get some shots of the car not moving, just so we can have some context and some cool shots. So I'm going to swap lenses real quick and see what we're working with. If this man messes my shot up, I'm going to be sad. I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to be sad. All right, old dude said that we need permission to be here, and God, I could do all of this literally in like 2 minutes. We should leave though, right? That's the Okay, so we got kicked out of the Army something. Old man wouldn't let us shoot, which is fine, you know, public property or whatever the hell it is. So we found another open parking lot that is conveniently right behind the shop. So I'm gonna try to get these shots real quick before we inevitably get kicked out of here. And we'll wrap this baby up. Also gotta do photos. Make sure I do photos. All right, boys. We have 6 minutes to do everything we can. It's only because I'm recording at the highest bit rate possible. All right, here we go. And no. Why are you? Oh, because my remote's on. That's why. Okay. Typically the Ronin will like smooth out all your movements, but it wasn't doing that. But it's because my remote's on. So it's on like camera car mode, not don't do camera car mode stuff. So I gotta turn the remote off, and after that, it should respond better. Maybe. It's a camera car channel, not a hand camera channel. Why you do this? Okay, so we're gonna power cycle it. So it, okay, we're gonna take this opportunity to bounce it a little bit. Oh my goodness. This is one of those days where everything fights against you. And you have to fight back. Handheld mode, okay, here we go. Action Jackson, great. If you have a Ronin 2, do not do this. Nothing is recommended here. All right, final shot. Stick with me. Yep, that's it. Whether we want it to be or not, we are now done. Ronan's not happy, I'm not happy, and I'm out of media. So, yeah, this is the walk of shame. Thus ends the S section of PSP. Prep, shoot, post. We will see you guys at a desk where Chase was crying over the footage that he got, knowing he could have got better things. Such as life on a film shoot. Okay, goodbye. All right, guys, so we're here at the desk. Gonna check out the post workflow on the Canon C200. So we're gonna jump in Final Cut right now, and what I've done is I've laid out the RAW and the XF AVC, as you guys can see. The C200 is pretty cool where you can do dual recording, so you can record RAW and proxies with the XAVC. XF AVC. So that's pretty cool that we can shoot proxies on this thing. And looking through the footage, I've noticed a couple things. I want to show you guys what you have to do to develop the raw footage, because you can't just edit raw footage. You have to open Canon software here, and once you do that, you can then edit the ISO, the brightness, the sharpness, the color temperature. So you have a cool settings after the fact, but it holds so much more data that I want to show you guys the difference in sizes. These are the two cards. We recorded on the C200 an SD card and the CFast card. Our first file, just for an example, is 2.28 gigabytes, right? Remember that number. The first RAW file is 57.35 gigabytes. That is over 25 times larger. I wanted to get that number out there so you guys understand that's what we're looking at. Now I've done a really basic grade, nothing too crazy. I've just added some saturation and messed with the highs and lows, but I've tried to grade them very similarly. As you guys can tell, there's not that much of a difference with the dynamic range. You can see under the car here, it's still pretty black. I think we have a little bit more detail in the RAW. We have this shot that if you guys look at this shot right now, they look relatively the same. The right side is a little darker than the left side, but otherwise looks the same. Watch when we zoom into 100%. Look at the level of detail on the left side, which is the RAW. You can actually see the grills of the car. On the right side, it almost looks like the car is not in focus. There are tons of situations like this. And like I told you guys, I don't ever do this. Like we edit our footage, we put our video out, and we're good to go. As you guys know, I built this little thing to have the RAW on the left and the MP4 on the right. And I was looking through it just to see if I could tell any differences. And when I got to this spot, I noticed something weird, and I don't know if you guys notice it right now, but I zoomed in to figure out what was up. And you can tell it here on the car, but if we look at the trees behind the car, this is RAW. You can see all this detail, and on the right, it literally looks out of focus. Once I saw this, I couldn't look past it anymore. Like, that's all I see now. At the end of the day, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna start shooting on RAW now? Honestly, I don't think so, because with these MP4s, I can drag them directly into my timeline. I can start editing, and they look good. For the quick turnaround times that we're using, we're gonna stick with MP4s. What I would really love is to have a codec that was right in the middle, like this, not this 8-bit XFAVC, which is okay. If I had a middle one, I would be so happy with that. But yeah, guys, so that's the end of the video. Overall, you know, we made the decision on the C200 a year ago when it was a cost versus quality and what we could do. I think it's a phenomenal camera for the price. It has a lot of capabilities that you would typically get on a more expensive camera for a very budget price. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, let us know what you liked about this video in the comments down below. That way we can keep building out this structure of camera chases whatever car, and hopefully we can start testing out some new cameras and then showing off some cool cars. That would be the ideal thing that could happen. Guys, I'm Chase. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you on the next one. Later.